Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's Mel. I know that yesterday I did not post anything for Mondays with Mel, but I have a good reason. So, the reason is today is my mother's birthday. Hooray! I wanted to wait and give her some honor and recognition to this amazing woman who not only gave me life, but taught me how to live life. And just wanted to shout her out and give her the honor and praise due to her for being an amazing woman and an awesome mom and an awesome grandma, and to all of her grandkids, and just for being who she is. So many of you probably have heard, know by now that my last book that I wrote, The Adventures of Hot Mama, is based on her life. It's actually my mother's story, and it chronicles her journey of discovering who she is as a woman at three different places in her life in three different countries. And the way that I wrote the book was I had every other chapter describing her part in her journey at that time in her life, and then every other chapter was my response to her as her daughter, and how I identified with that stage of womanhood. And so it's a really fun read. It's fun because my mom is fun. If you know my mom, you know she's like a 4'10", 4'11" on a good day, ball of fun and energy. You know that when she walks into the room, she's the life of the party. She loves having a good time. She is all about the laughter and giggles. And she really just enjoys ushering joy and happiness wherever she's at. So she's, definitely, the one that you want to hang out with, because she just always finds the good in everything. And she always finds a way to kind of laugh at life, even if things are hard. So one of the things that I appreciated from learning about who she was, before she became my mother, was actually, the weird similarities that we had in our lives, in our life story. So you may not know this, but in my book, I talk about how my parents, they got married. She was living in France at the time, and my dad had to go to France in order to, marry her, but he was only given kind of like a 2-week permission to stay there for just a couple weeks before he was supposed to return back to the United States. Well, in that time, she became pregnant with my brother, and so she couldn't follow my dad back to the States right after their wedding. She actually had to stay in France for several months, and didn't come to the States until, several months later. Well, so here she is. She's in a different country. She's not in Cambodia. She's not with her family. Her mother and her sisters and everybody were not with her. She's newly married, and now she's newly pregnant, and she's going to be a mother for the first time, and she's doing this by herself. Flash forward to my life when I was getting married. I also got pregnant right away within 10 days. Don't do that. And found myself in a new city, in a new state, without my family support system, going through being newly married and now becoming a mother for the first time, also kind of alone. And it was just so freaky how similar our life stories were in that particular area. And so as I was working with my mom and listening to her story and furiously documenting all the details of her life, it was just so odd how much and how parallel our lives really were. And so, obviously I bifurcated, and, I have a different life story now. I'm no longer married or anything like that. But one of the things that I have chosen to do is to take the good lessons that I've learned from my mother's life and how she discovered who she was as a woman, as an Asian American woman, and defy traditional cultural things that didn't serve who she was, and learning how to own and be authentic to who she is, even if it meant not really conforming to a lot of things. and being a certain way. And so that is the inspiration that I've taken in my life, is to look at my own personal situation and how can I be authentic to myself and true to myself and live a life that truly serves my overall purpose and who I'm supposed to be for others, and how I'm supposed to show up for others. And so that is just something that, I'll never forget. It's the way that I feel that I'm continuing a legacy that my mom has started with her own life. And I definitely want, my children and, who are her grandchildren and then my grandchildren to continue that process and grow upon it and really be able to live the life to their fullest expression of who they are. So in many ways, my mom is a big inspiration of why I went into coaching and why I have the purpose that I have in my life to help others really walk into their destiny. So if you haven't picked up a copy of my mom's story, it's a really fun, light read. I put a lot of things in there about, funny things that Asian moms do, and you're just never going to see, or maybe you might see in other cultures, who knows. But just a lot of things that Asian moms tend to do, and when it comes to raising their kids and just the household that we grew up in. So The Adventures of Hot Mama is available on Amazon.com. It's also available on the BarnesandNoble.com website. Feel free to pick up a copy and let me know what you think. If you want an autographed copy, I'm happy to send you one. Send me a direct message, and I'll be sure to put one in the mail for you. All right, so happy birthday to my mother, Enery, and just wishing her an amazing year, an amazing day. I know this is probably not the best way to celebrate your birthday, but I certainly hope that you get all the love and support to celebrate you and all the wonderful things about you today, and wishing you the best year yet of your life. Love you so much, and thank you for everything you've done for me, for my family, for our family, everything. You're just amazing. Okay, love you guys. I actually have to get ready to teach my final class for the day, so I am going to get ready for that, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.